Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
The Heinz Ketchup game is a game that comes in a Heinz Ketchup bottle packaging, and it's a little dice game. And the dice game is all about pressing your luck about scoring the most points, and you're racing to get 57 points. This is a really silly game. I'm not really sure why it exists. Some of these little small dice rolling games, I guess this is probably not one of the better ones. Something like Zombie Dice is probably a little bit better. But I never really understand why these things exist. They're not really meant for me. My kids like the packaging, so my 4-year-old will point to this because he knows Heinz Ketchup. So it has a little bit of that going for it, but I mean, very quickly it becomes boring. It's literally just rolling the dice and seeing what happens. If you happen to roll the right labels, you're going to score more points. If not, and the only decision you're making in this game at all is whether, did I score enough points where it's worth risking to roll again? I mean, that's really all it is. If you have extremely good luck, you will score more points by getting the 5 bonus points, or the Heinz or the ketchup bottle will give you extra 5 points. Or if you have extremely bad luck rolling the all sweet relish or all mustard, then you will lose points. I've never really seen anybody do that too often, or even at all. This is really not a game you should be buying. This is more of a novelty or a gag gift or something you would just kind of, Heinz Ketchup, blah, blah, blah. Not a lot of game here. It's just one I would absolutely tell you to purge and to pass on by if you see it on the shelf. Here is the Heinz Tomato Ketchup Dice game. You can see it comes in packaging that kind of looks like a Heinz Tomato Ketchup. You're going to open it up. You're going to get your instruction booklet. You're going to get a little scoring sheet that will be here. You're going to get a small pencil, and you're going to get 5 dice. Now, these are kind of generic dice, very cheap plastic, and they come stickered, but they are just stickers that are put on there with the different logos from the different ketchup bottles that you're going to have. This will be your dice cup when you play. As you can tell, it's pretty loud, but those are the components. Here are the rules. It's just a small piece of paper. There's no picture of the components, no pictures at all, and no examples. The rules are kind of a little bit confusing. I've seen some people have some issues with them. Probably would have been better off with a chart instead of just working out like this, but probably need 2 or 3 minutes to read through it. Game is easy. On your turn, you're going to put the dice in the dice cup, and you're going to roll the dice. If you don't like the results, you can do up to 2 rerolls, and then when you reroll, you're stuck with that roll. What you're trying to do is get ketchup labels, and you're going to get a point for each one. If you roll a bottle, that's a 5-point bonus. And if you were to roll all ketchup labels, you get a 5-point bonus. If it includes a label, then you're going to get to 10 because this is worth 5. The negative point is if you roll all 5 mustard or all 5 sweet relish, for some reason, that's negative 10 points. That's all the game is. And whoever gets closest to 57... Oh, you have a 57 Heinz on here, too. There's also a Heinz 57, so if you roll this, you can always do a reroll no matter what. That can kind of save you. The trick of the game is to get closest to 57 points. If you go over 57, you bust. Let's say you got 55 points. You're like, I don't want to roll again. I might bust. Then what you would do is you would just say, catch up. And then you're out, and everybody else will continue to roll. That's kind of how you play Catch Up the Dice game. Who should buy this game? This is strictly novelty. This is strictly a gag gift of some sort. Not much of a game here. This is probably, it's a 4, on a BGG scale. It's okay for what you're doing. Not a lot of decisions. Roll some dice, see what happens. But there are a lot, Art of War, there's a lot better games that do this than this one. This is one I would tell you to avoid at all costs. Absolute purge.